What's happening, people? We are on here for another wrestling rant, this time with background music because my 4-year-old got his jam playing right now, so it is what it is on that one. But let's get to it. We talking about the wrestling that I watched on this past week. That includes Monday Night Raw, that includes SmackDown, NXT, and Dynamite, which went head-to-head on Wednesday night. So let's get right on to it. So on Raw, it was the the aftermath of Crown Jewel. Liv celebrating her victory with her big old ring. Sami Zayn came out. He spoke in Arabic, which was cool to see. Because they were still in Riyadh when they did Monday Night Raw. It was good. Also, good to see that they were doing it with championship. They were doing a tournament to see who would doing a fatal 4-way basically to see who would be the next challenger for Gunther. And Priest won. Priest won. I mean, I'm glad they're still trying to push Priest, because then his championship run didn't go looks like it didn't go how it expected was to get him over. Because Rhea, she's mega over. She's an ultra star. Priest, not so much. I mean, he comes out to an applause, but it's not a big one. It ain't that big of a one. So I think they're trying to keep on building Priest up a little bit more. So that was pretty much the big takeaway from Raw. That Priest won, so he's challenging Gunther for the title. But yeah, it's all about the bloodline. It's all about the bloodline. It really is. But no, another thing that is about, and on WWE program, it seems like Raw, SmackDown is all bloodline intertwined. That's the more interesting stuff. But NXT and Dynamite, they both were on Wednesday. So, had a little bit of throwback of flipping channels in the 90s between Raw and Nitro. So, going back and forth, I started out on Dynamite, and as soon as Orange Cassidy came out, I was done with that. I was like, okay, we're not doing this. And I put on NXT. So it was just a constant back and forth between NXT and Dynamite. And some goofy would happen on Dynamite, I'd change the channel. Some goofy happened on NXT, I'd change the channel. Now I will say this, Javon Evans, man, I like him. I like Javon Evans. He flies super high, and I say he has personality. He has personality. So I'm looking forward to see his career, how he goes. And on Dynamite, we've had Adam Cole. He won his match against Malachi Black. Adam Cole, I mean, he just looks so not like a wrestler. Orange Cassidy looks so not like a wrestler. I mean, when you see Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, MVP, you see those big dudes come out there. I mean, I'm glad they started the show off too. I'm glad they started the show, and they got the big rating, because yeah, that's right. Don't let Orange Cassidy kill the rating, because he is ratings poison. He comes on, his ratings go away. I know every time he comes on, I change my channel. Between him, the Young Bucks, Jericho, man, they guaranteed. Oh my goodness, whenever they pop on the screen, it's over with. But anyway, with Javon Evans, I like him. He won his match against Jason Lee. So he was. I like those guys. I know they're a little bit on the smaller side, but they can do the athletic stuff, and they have personalities. They have personalities, and I think it'll be a good thing for them in WWE going forward. I like to see what their future is too. So still on NXT. The main event, well, one of the main events was Bubba Ray Dudley was there with Trick Williams, and that was fun to see Bubba Ray. Bubba Ray was bumping around for the young guys, which is phenomenal. I'm glad to see that, an old school wrestler help out the younger talent. So I thought that was good, watching Bubba Ray bump around. Then another thing on NXT was the 5-woman match. I mean, it was a lot of them in the ring. I'm like, good grief. But out of all of them, Stephanie Vaquer, she stood out to me the most because of how smooth she is in the ring. I'm like, yeah, that's a different level of smoothness in the ring. I'm like, yeah, she gonna definitely be a major player in the women's division coming up here, because yeah, she has just a smoothness about the way she performs. I'm like, that's dope. I like that. I haven't seen too many wrestlers do that often. So yeah, she's just really smooth. Now on Dynamite, we met Moxley and crew running around cutting weird promos that no one knows what he's talking about. He must have saw another movie again and decided, I'm gonna play this role this week because got Jericho. When Jericho comes out, whenever he wrestles, whenever he talks, instant channel change. And I mean, it's just the worst. You got Camille and Mercedes getting beat up by Chris Statlander. However, I don't know why is Mercedes berating her security already? Like, no, she already lost. First of all, Camille already lost the match, and you're telling us you can't do anything right. No, what is going on here? They are rushing the bodyguard, and obnoxious heel. They're rushing the storyline already. And I mean, I guess they getting the memo that people ain't really liking Mercedes, and they're like, we gotta just do something, or I don't know. But it's just awful. It's just awful. Man, the main event on Dynamite was, because the main event on NXT was the girls match, a 10-woman tag match. The main event was Dynamite was Ricochet and his mystery partner against Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita. So they had their match, right? And they had the match. They did the intro. For Ricochet, out comes his mystery partner. And not even gonna lie, his name escapes me right now. I can't remember what his name is, but he came out to almost pop. The crowd was like, who? Even the crowd was like, who is this? They didn't know who it was. And I guess he came out, they had their match or whatever. I'm like, and then that's the thing. They had their match, and then the NXT main event, right, was a girls match. I don't know what happened on either one of those main events because I fell asleep on both. I mean, the girls match was smooth. I was like, oh, that looks like it's gonna be a good time. I put it on there. I saw Ricochet on the mic. He introduced his partner. He came out, and I fell asleep. And then the next thing you know, I wake up, it's 12:05. I'm like, oh man, I missed the whole thing. So that was Dynamite and NXT. Then we got SmackDown, where honestly I was zoning out of everything except for the Bloodline stuff. They had me locked in. Oh man, they came out. Roman and company came out at the beginning, and man, he told Jay why you was like, man, he told me why you wasting my time. And then they was talking in the back, and Jay told him like, I told you had one time, and he talking like, I told you had one time. I was like, yeah. So Roman ain't really changed. He's still doing his heelish stuff, which is good. Don't change his. He got over being that way, so let him continue to be that way. But let him have some moments of reconciliation with his family. And I'm talking with Jay and with Sammy, which happened. At the end, Solo, they had come out again, Solo. And, oh, man, I'm glad they're letting Jacob on the mic, too, because Jacob is so good on the mic. They're letting Jacob on the... Oh, I'm so glad they're letting Jacob talk on the mic. I mean, they letting Tama Tonga get it. Yeah, they let him get over. Yeah. They let him get that over. I mean, the crowd copying that. I'm like, man, everything they do is over. So they let Jacob talk, which is awesome. I'm glad they're letting Jacob talk, because, man, he can go. And with the whole bloodline stuff, they got, they did the 2.0 bloodline got run off by the OG bloodline. Jay held up the finger, held up the ones at first, then Jimmy, then Sammy held up the one, then Roman held up the one. So we got our War Games match set. But something that intrigued me when Solo said, you got 4 people in the back. He was like, 4? Roman was like, what you mean? What do you mean 5? He's like, what do you mean 4 more? Because Solo counted himself, he counted Jacob, counted the Tongas, and then he said Sami Zayn. So Sammy came out and told, they jumped Roman to 2.0 bloodline, jumped Roman, and Jimmy and Jay came out to fight him off, but then they started getting beat up too. Then Sammy came out, and Solo said, yeah, you kick him, Solo, kick him in the face. So Sammy came down, gave Solo the boot, and everybody held up the ones, and then SmackDown went off. So, man, it was great. I couldn't tell you what happened in between that, because I was zoning out during the matches, just being honest about that. Then I was poised to watch Collision on Saturday, and it's 7:58. I'm getting ready to set the TV for it. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me go ahead and just set it. Got what I'm gonna snack on while it's on. My 4-year-old gonna grab the remote, put on Netflix, and we had to watch The Secret Life of Pets and then the Super Mario movie. So I couldn't watch. He made me watch those 2 movies. Now, Secret Life of Pets, I was, zoning out of that one. But that Super Mario movie was good. It was good, and I liked it. I really liked it. So that's my wrestling wrap up for the week. Let me know what you like, what you didn't like. Comment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can be alerted when any new video drops from us, y'all. Stay tuned. Peace.